All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the BH and Scrubber Show. This is the What the Football channel. We like the Washington Commanders for some reason. Last week was a pretty bad game. You thought the Lions game was bad. Last week was just more of the same. So we're going to try and dissect that today. Look at the positives coming out of it. We got another big game coming up against the Cowboys in Dallas. So that's a pretty big headwind that we got to go against and hopefully try and pull the W out. I got my boy with me here today, BH from San Diego. Welcome, BH.
Yeah, thanks, man. We got in Sunday and just waiting for the truck. So, yeah, man, it's been all good. We're great, man. The weather's awesome here, so we're loving it already. But, man, that game, I didn't get to see it. I was actually on the road that day, but went back and looked at a lot of highlights.
Yeah.
I guess on the outset, I would say it's overall really disappointing, mostly disappointing because the one thing that was articulated in our last show was you could nitpick a lot of different things, but they didn't seem to match the intensity at the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we said, come on out and hit it. And then to go down, what was it now, 24 zip?
Yeah.
Again.
Well into the third quarter with the defense scoring our only 2 points.
Yeah. If it had been like 20-20 at the half and they'd lost 55-20, I'd have been bummed, but I would have said, okay, well, now we got something else we could work on. But to go out and do the same exact thing again, where you're not hyped, ready, and you're just getting steamrolled from the beginning, like the other team is jacked up and you're half asleep, that's worrisome because, like you said, going to Dallas, they actually played pretty good last week. They're starting to coalesce a little bit around Cooper Rush, the quarterback. And so they're looking a little better. Their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
So it really, let's be honest, man, it just doesn't look good. But the past 2 weeks coming up against that. So I really, it was really weird to watch the highlights and watch all that for the defense and the offense, because I saw so many good things.
Yes.
Really. And I think, would you agree the defense overall played pretty good?
I thought so too. As I was calling the game, I kept, saying like all last year, same thing too. Look, just got to count on our defense to hold one more time. Defense hold one more time. And they did a great job. They held them field goals. I think they stopped them on a 4th and goal, was it? Did they do that too?
Yeah, they did.
Stopped
they did.
them and, they did some other good things. They were our only score with the safety at one point. I think that was well into the third quarter. So
but like you said, they got a safety. Good. They got a safety. Stuffed them on a 4th. I mean, I think Hurts. I don't know. He had 4 runs for like not many yards.
Right.
So we were worried about that because we're saying this. Sometimes the Commanders don't seem that great when you got these mobile quarterbacks. And quite frankly, they did that part pretty good.
Yeah, they did.
So it's a shame. So, we got to go to the offense. And the elephant in the room is 9 sacks.
Yeah.
So then you start watching. So I watched this over and over again, watching. And I went back, I looked at some of the PFF scores for our guys. Some of our guys are better run blockers, some are better pass blockers. But no one was too horrible, with the exception that Wes Schweitzer, did he play center the whole game? I imagine he must have.
Yeah.
There's no one else. Because counting his snaps, you can see he did. He had a pretty horrible pass blocking. I mean, it was like 30, and 40 is not good. So he must have been getting really pushed back, which I think would explain. I didn't have time to go back and look at him after reading the Pro Football Focus ranking and numbers. But one thing I did notice that Carson, a lot of times he had no room to step up.
Yeah.
So, as those, okay. But then I saw sometimes where he did have time and he did a 5-step drop and he just hung there. And here comes the guy right around the end and hit him. So he seemed to, man, when he, sometimes he didn't have room to step up. And then when he did, it's like, dude, step up into the pocket and make a throw. So I didn't see the offensive line as being, I know a lot of guys are cracking on him hard. I thought they gave him decent time, not great. So here's what I saw. The thing I saw was him unable to pull the trigger.
Yep.
He'd back, look, and then wait. Conversely, I watched a lot of highlights of Jalen Hurts. And did you see all those catches their receivers made?
Yeah.
I don't know if you, oh my God, dude. I mean, our corners were on those guys.
Yeah.
Devonta Smith, and these guys were making incredible catches.
They were.
What was the difference? The difference was Jalen Hurts trusted his receivers, and he threw the ball to them, and they went and got it. And I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz. Is he being coached too much? Oh, don't throw interceptions. Interceptions are a no-go. So he's thinking too much. If a guy doesn't have separation, he's looking for the other guy that has separation. Whereas Hurts, I mean, he went back, boom, look, found his man, and pretty much fired it. And I saw Carson a lot of times gets into his drop, turns, he looks, he doesn't pump fake, but you can tell he's in his set, and he doesn't throw. Then he starts looking, and then boom, here comes a sack.
Way too late. Yeah.
Way too late. I mean, he didn't have massive amounts of time, but I watched a ton of those sacks, and he had time to get the ball off. And so
there was a couple people open on most of those. So Peter just dumped it off over the middle, caught JD coming out of the backfield, Logan Thomas. There were some open people where he should have just let go of the ball. But I think a part of that too is he's been coached not to throw interceptions, but that's almost his MO anyways. He wants to make a good play. And so when you're getting killed like that, it's just dump it. And I don't think there was enough adjustment made for if he's getting sacked and got no time, well, then you got to start making adjustments to that and just start doing checkdowns, dump balls. Still you can open that up. So I don't think that happened.
They didn't. And he's a big, tall guy, do some quick slants. That was kind of what his dad did in San Diego a lot of times. He would still, when the pressure was on, Norv Turner would keep calling, 5 and sometimes 7-step drop plays for Phillip Rivers. And he'd go back on these 7 steps looking deep. And, by then the defensive ends would come around the corner, either hit him or swipe the ball or hit his arm.
That's exactly what happened.
And the guy's 6'5". And I'm like, dude, 3 or 5-step drop, boom, hit a slant, boom, hit a slant. I mean, throw it. I mean, throw a slant. Even if it hits the dirt, at least then the safeties, the corners are going to be, oh, okay, let's get ready for you fake an inside move, you go long. So I really do think, Wentz made some good plays to that nice long one to Terry.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think, like, look, don't throw into triple coverage, but if a guy's one-on-one and he's a little bit covered, put the ball out there. I mean, Hurts did it all day. Yeah. And those guys made the catches. He gave the receivers a chance to go for the ball, and Wentz didn't. So I think a lot of those sacks were on him, and I just hope that they really work on this week to just getting that ball off, get it out there, let the receivers make a play. Because if not, man, it's going to be 28-0 at the half.
Yeah, Dallas has got them monsters are coming. They've already seen. They smell blood in the water. They already know they can get to them after watching what the Eagles did to them. And they got Micah Parsons and who's that other guy? Anyway,
they got some
guys coming for them, and they already seen what can be done. So I don't know what Scott Turner can do. I seen his interview and just wasn't happy with the things that he had to say either. Same with Del Rio. Again, those guys are just, they get softball questions and they just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's easy to stand up there and go, well, I take accountability for myself. But those are just words.
Yeah.
Really take it. I take accountability for the way I called the game. Who gives a shit? You just said the words just so you can get off the stage and stop answering questions. I mean, that's easy to do. So that doesn't mean anything to me. So I just don't know what they can do on Sunday to alleviate what's going on with them. I think, like you said, you got to come out with some heat. They just don't come out with any heat. They just don't seem to make, they just seem and you can always tell who's going to win a football team after the first couple sets of downs for each team.
Yeah.
You can just see it by who comes out hot and who comes out cold. So I don't know. I don't know what they can do for next week except hope that it's a divisional game. That they got Cooper Rush. The black uniforms. That's going to help. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anything, right?
Yeah, anything at this point. So we'll see.
Yeah. They're the rush deep, their pass, their run defense is doing okay. They're giving up a lot of yards in the passing game. I feel kind of bad for them because I'm telling you, a lot of those passes could have been incomplete easily. And props to the Eagles receivers for making those plays. They made awesome plays, but man, over the course of a couple games, that doesn't always happen. Guys just snagging the ball with guys on them, and they make great plays. But the D's got to step up. They've given up almost the second highest amount of air yardage in the league. Yeah, and once again, Pro Football Focus, who, by the way, I know a lot of people bash them and trash them. I don't think they're the Bible by any means, but I think they're very consistent. They pretty much grade everybody along consistent lines, so you can match player to player. And Kendall Fuller's getting a lousy rating from them, and they raved about Kendall Fuller last year.
Yeah.
He was like, when they were done, I know a lot of Commanders fans were like, he was like the 5th rated corner in the league, or 6th, something like that. He was rated very high.
Yeah.
So they loved him. They loved the way he played. So there's nothing. I don't think there's anything. They have anything against him. He's just, man, he came out and is playing like garbage. And there's no injury designation. So that's the thing. If you had a bad hammy or a bad foot, you could let it slide. Is there anyone out there that you thought on defense that was playing pretty good? Did anyone stand out in your mind?
I thought St. Juice did well.
There you go, brother. I just wanted to see. I just want to throw you a blind question because I was the same way. Yeah. He's the one guy that looked like he was number one, head in the game. He was jacked up. He broke up some plays. I think he gave up a touchdown, but come on. This in this league, people are just going to score touchdowns. But I agree. Yeah, he looked pretty good. So
I thought we did good against the run for the most part.
They did.
Jamin was in there on a couple. I thought Holcomb. I seen his name a few times. Yeah. I just thought our defense did good all the way around. There's nobody really sticks out. I just thought as a group they did good. I remember calling the game, just saying, "Hey, we're counting on our guys one more time," and they would do the right thing. So I think where we're losing, like you talked about the yards passing against, that's in combination with the Lions. I think even the Jags got those big plays are the plays that kill us. Them 50-yard, 49-yarders, 38-yarders. 45-yarders. So those stack up. And I think we said we had, 7 in the first 3 games, or 8 in the first 3 games, and over 50 yards, and 12 all of last year. And so we've already given up buttloads of yards for long distances in the passing game. So, I don't know what the remedy is for that. So
yeah. And just like last year, I think probably top 3 in air and passing touchdowns given up. And already, I think we're tied for last. We've given up 8. So we're just, once again, we talk about that. That's, from game to game, when you make the same mistakes, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And from year to year, when you're doing the same crap,
all right.
That's a problem. I mean, that goes
coaching, in my opinion.
Coaching, is it the scheme?
Coach makes the scheme.
Yeah. And the players, I mean, the thing is, like you said, we don't have a bunch of new players back there.
Right.
That's what's really killing me, that part.
Yeah.
Because they've all been there, so they didn't introduce a new setup.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really, we're not the only ones. I mean, boy, I've been out there, everyone's scratching their head, and and you can expect a lot of calls for people to be fired.
Oh yeah.
Guys going, hey, there's this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy are out there. Let's get them in here. Yeah, well, we've talked about that before. If they're out there, if they're still out there, well, they're out there for a reason. Yeah. I know some people say we get Blake Martinez come in for linebacker. He's not going to do it. Yeah, Eric Flowers. And I don't understand the Eric Flowers thing. I'll be honest with you. It might just be money. I mean, his agent, when they called his agent, he might say, because he wanted 10 million. And his agent might just say, if you're not talking 10 million, then call me later. Because as the season goes on, offensive lines are going to get banged up and someone's going to pay us. So you can pay us now or you can pay us later. Because the guy played a lot of games and a lot of snaps last year and had a fantastic, really good rating. He was a well-rated pass and run blocking guard. Mm-hmm. And so he did a better job than Norwell, although I just don't see anyone on that line doing horrible, with the exception of Wes Schweitzer got beat up. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I saw a couple people get around Cosme.
Yeah,
a couple people getting around. Who's that on the other side?
Leno. Yep, there was guys.
I just saw them getting around him, getting that hand in and that kind of stuff. They just, I don't know. They got, I don't know what's going on there. And our line coach is great.
Yeah.
What's his
everything
name?
I've heard. Everything I've heard is he's fantastic.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. And why would Wes Schweitzer has always played so good for us? So I don't know what the problem is there. I don't get it. So
I don't either. He's a proud guy. He's very proud of the fact that he can play along the line in positions. I've seen him in interviews. He takes the game seriously. He's very proud of his work. Yeah. So it was, he has been injured. He probably didn't have tons of reps, not like a starting center, like Roulier, although Roulier was injured. He at least got those first team reps in, and it was Schweitzer's first game. So we could probably see a real improvement now that he's in there. He's got the line
bring
calls.
In the other guy, the other new guy. What's his name?
Martin.
Martin.
Maybe I think not. Maybe Wes just he just had got that game under his belt because, like you said, he last year when he came in at center, he filled in great. Then went and got injured, so that's a killer. I don't feel like I don't feel like the receivers got utilized enough. Like it seemed like we really, even in the Lions game, Wentz and Turner were doing a good job of, throwing it to this guy, get it to Samuel, hit this, kind of spreading it around. It just didn't seem to have that kind of a feel, but we'll see. I'm sure they know the problems. Let's put it that way. They don't talk about it in the interviews, but they see the film and they know what they've got to do to improve. But man, they damn sure better do something because this is, like we said earlier, Dallas is starting to play better, and it is in Dallas. So
yeah.
So
you can't lose here. You got to win the division if you want to win get into the postseason. So we got to start this week.
Yeah, because 2-2, you can start to salvage something.
Yes.
1-3, then the bells start going off.
Yeah.
So, you were saying you're probably not going to do the live stream this weekend?
Yeah, I probably can't do it. Got my girlfriend coming into town. Things got shook up from Hurricane Ian. We survived it here. So blew a bunch of stuff down, branches and stuff everywhere, but it wasn't as bad as it was said that it was going to be. So everything's good here.
Good.
She got pushed back on her flight, and so she'll be coming in Saturday. I may have to go and get her at the airport in Orlando, and even that is open for, she's still basically on notice, even with this new ticket that she got for Saturday evening. They're still telling her things could change because a lot of people got pushed back. So,
Yeah.
the airport's been closed for 2 or 3 days now. Got flooded out. Looks pretty bad over that way. So, yeah, so I'm probably not going to be able to call the game.
Okay. Well, for everyone out there who likes to watch it, might not happen this weekend, but Scrubber will, he'll do his darndest to always get that go. He loves doing it. So
I do.
it's a temporary thing.
Yep.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, our real football team is not doing too good, but our fantasy teams aren't bad.
Yeah.
you're 3-0, man. You're running away from the pack, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drafted a good team.
Yeah. I made a couple adjustments today. I'm scheduled to have more points than my other guy. Obviously everybody plays right. So yeah, I'm looking to go 4-0. Trash talked a little bit on the message board, and
sure.
I'm winning somewhere. So
yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. My main league, I'm 3-0 in my main league, my friends and family league. Yeah. So that's good. I've had some rough starts in the last couple of years in that league. So I find myself, I'm battling all year, just scrape into the playoffs. So I mean, if I could go 4-0, I'd feel pretty good. So,
yeah.
Well, all right, man. Well, look, man, the truck will be here tomorrow. Got my apartment will be packed with boxes, but I'll be happy. We'll have all our stuff. And, we'll have a show next Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And hope we have a happy show.
Yeah. Let's hope we have a happy show. The guys can turn it around. Hopefully Coach Ron and them will light a fire under them. Someone needs to light a fire under the coaches, and let's hope we have a good game. So
yeah, I really hope so. Hope those, like you said, the coaches, the players, like, come on, man, get your pride out there, man. Come on, put it together. You don't want to be 1-3. That would be awful.
Yep. So, all right, folks. Thanks everybody for being here. Glad y'all are safe, and we'll see y'all next week.